Okay, we'll begin now. Today, your class will be on rebuttals and POIs and will be taken by a very respected member of IIT Debating Society, who is Soham Panchal. You can take over from here, Soham.
Okay, yeah. Hello, guys. I'm Sohan. Can someone confirm I'm audible clearly? There are no disturbances in the background or anything. Okay, cool. Yeah, just give me a second. I will be presenting my screen in a minute. Just a minute. I hit a technical issue. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so before starting my presentation, I want to set some ground rules that please do not speak between when I'm speaking. If you have any doubt, just raise your hand. I will be monitoring the Meet window, so I will see if you have raised any hands. And please don't be disrespectful to anyone else who is asking a doubt or have any query. And please feel free to engage. And please make this a two-way conversation rather than a one-way teaching thing. It would be much more fun. I have a few examples, few motions we can discuss upon. So on that, we can discuss and make it an interactive session, basically. Yeah. I hope you all are clear with this thing. Cool. Okay. I hope the screen is clear and visible. Yeah. So welcome to this session of rebuttals and POIs. I guess you are new to debating, so I guess you won't have much idea about what are rebuttals, what are POIs, how do they function in the debate, or how do they work and help us in winning the debates. So let's move on. So first of all, this is how this structure this session is going to go, or like what are the what are rebuttals, how to think of them, and then I have divided them into 5 categories: how to make a rebuttal, keep it in your speech, and deliver it precisely. Then, in the second part of the session, we will move on to POIs. What are POIs? How to ask POIs at a appropriate time? What kind of POIs are there, and what to do when taking POIs, or what happens like if you don't know how to answer a POI or how to engage with it. Uh, Now on to a rebuttal. What is a rebuttal? Basically, a rebuttal is some kind of a response or an argument, a counter argument you make to the opposition's case. For example, if the opposition comes and tells me that yes, this this is their argument, and now to show to the judges that you do not agree to their argument, or you do not that your case is better than theirs, or whatever in that sense. So you make a rebuttal. For example, if uh, okay, for example, if we take any simple case, uh, um, we can take any normal case, like if the house would require all the house would ban alcohol in your state or something like that. For now, the opposition would come and say that people have been taken their free right to consume anything or anything they want. Now, to take down that rebuttal, we could easily take down that argument. We could provide a rebuttal. In that sense, rebuttal would be that if you talk about free rights, but we live in a society, right? So in this society, you cannot say like not everyone like. You could compare it to an analogy that everyone has like in the name of having rights of their own, they could not go out and murder someone. In the similar manner, you cannot say that by drinking alcohol you could cause many disturbances in the society. You could go out and harass some people, or if you drink and drive, for example, you could hit someone, and someone may lose their life or have heavy damage on their body. So that is that is something kind of a rebuttal. That is, you'll understand as we go on with the session. But basically, a rebuttal is just a response you give to the opposition, or you with which you take down the opposition's case and support your own case in that manner. And rebuttals are not just something you it's not a he said she said, something like that. It's about, it is a very vital part of debating, as it helps the judges see why the opposition's case is much worse compared to yours, or like why an opposition's case does not stand or does not hold up. So uh, they are very important in winning the debate and showing the judges that yes, your case stands, as well. The opposition's case is not what it seems. Now, first of all, how to think of rebuttals, how to come up with rebuttals, or when to rebut and when to not rebut. It's a very important skill you need to know while debating, because you have a very limited time in your speeches, or you have a very limited things you can say in that those 7 minutes, or in case of APD, in those three speeches or four speeches, you have very limited time what you can speak. So you need to prioritize things, and you need to know what to say, when to rebut, or what not to rebut. So they are not just secondary content I just mentioned. They are winning material, right? And one important thing about rebuttals is that you should not say that you should not independently take down their rebuttal. What is better is you connect them to your own case. Like if someone is saying that if someone is saying um, if opposition has an argument, you want to take down their argument, or you want to rebut their argument, what you do is you connect them to your own case. And in that process, what you do is you show that their argument does not stand, and instead the paradigm lies in your own on your own side, rather than showing what is there and what is under. Like, you cannot just let me give an example for this. One good example would be, if we continue our case of the house would ban drinking in your state, and the opposition comes up and says that drinking helps relieve stress, or some argument could be that drinking helps people relieve stress in their stressful lives, or something on that road. Then what you could do is you could say that yes, it may help you relieve stress, or whatever you feel like that. But uh, you could say, you do not have to just say that it has other disbenefits to it, but you could tie it to your own case. Let's assume if your case is that drinking causes harm to the society, or it it has more harms than the goods of drinking. Then you could say that yes, it helps people relieve stress, but excessive drinking could lead to organ harm, or to harm in many uh, or to harm to your body in a long term. That could be a rebuttal, but that is not tied to your own case. Why would you ban drinking as a house or as a government? So what you do is you tie it to your own case, that it may help relieving your stress, but there are other ways of relieving stress. Drinking is not the only solution. And if you want to see on the contrary side, if the government, if you are the opposition in this house and in this motion, and you want, if the government comes and says that uh, I hope everything is clear till now, na? Like, nobody's having any doubts, or okay, cool. Yeah. So in this case, if you are the government, and if you are the opposition, and the government comes up and says these same points, that by drinking, if you allow drinking, then people will automatically will mishandle drinking, or will come up and drink and drive and stuff, or something like that. You could come up, and The arguments could be that drinking causes harm to the citizens, so it should not be taken, or something like that. But on these cases, what you could provide is you should not just say that it takes on the your fundamental rights or something like that. You should tie it to your own case, that by drinking what could happen, it has more, by banning drinking it has more harms, as it would create illegal rings or illegal cartels which would provide alcohol in the state, and it is more harmful, as though these alcohols would not be properly tested that it is healthy for a person to drink, as we have seen in many cases. Like, okay, does someone have it out? Yeah, sure. Aarti, you may go.
So I wanted to ask that what is the meaning of that rebuttals aren't necessarily binary?
Okay, yeah, I'm coming to that point. I'm just giving an example of why it should be tied to your case and why it is better, right? I'm coming to that point. Aren't necessarily
Okay,
binary.
okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So as I said, in the you have cases on the both hands. You could provide rebuttals on both, but it is better to tie it to your own case. So it helps the judges think that yes, the rebuttals are only taking the opposition case, but it's supporting their own case also. Now coming to the next point, as mentioned, that they are necessarily binary. Like rebuttals, when you put down rebuttals and when they go into judges sheets, or when they judge them, that how were those rebuttals, they do not think in the ways that are these did they take down the case, was it successful or was it unsuccessful, it was not able to take down this case. Rebuttals should not be think of in those manner, because rebuttals are something that may be constructive to your own case, maybe a derivative from your own case. So it is better that instead of thinking rebuttals that it would take down their whole case, even if it provides some engagement in the debate. Uh, it, it is very necessary to put on rebuttals in those manner. If, like, for example, you for in these examples are very are of motions that are very elaborate, and which are in some finals or something like that. So I'm not taking any specific examples, but to provide you an insight to this.
So your voice is not audible.
Hello, am I audible now? Could someone say where did you guys lose my voice?
Example,
Example of which, like,
So you were telling the example of the
why
liquor one,
they're not binary?
illegal. The yes, sir.
Why rebuttals are not binary? So you will give an example.
okay, yeah, okay. So to give an insight of why rebuttals are necessarily binary, like to give you an insight, is I was saying that in debating, the important principle is of engagement in the debate rather than just showing why your own side is good or why your own side has benefits. You have to show why your own side is better than the opposition sides rather than just showing the benefits of your own side. You have to compare the both sides. For that, that's the reason rebuttals are necessary, and that's why rebuttals should not be just thought of as that they are it has taken down the case totally, or it wasn't able to take down the case. It should be thought as that it is providing to the engagement in the debating, as if you show to the judge, even if you have less benefits, but those benefits are better compared to the opposition's benefits, then you can easily win the debate. That's why, now coming to the point of why rebuttals are unnecessary binary, because as it leads to engagement in the debate, and it also helps, even if it is able to take down some amount of the opposition's case, it helps. Rebuttals, you may not say those rebuttals as just successful or unsuccessful. You should, you just put it down in the debate to have engagement and show even a little bit that yes, your case is better compared to the others. Now, one very important point in rebutting or in rebuttals is, do not instinctively rebut and combat that instinct. Please do not, like, even if like sometimes there is a red herring opposition, sometimes opposition people put out, like, to go out and rebut on that point and waste your time. In debating, the time is very important, as you have very limited amount of time. So when you instantaneously rebut, or when you think that yes, this has to be rebutted, because due to the adrenaline of debating, or during speech, you go out and instantly rebut, yes, no, this is wrong, that is wrong, or something like that. That should not be done, that should be avoided, because not always what you think the first instinct to rebut is important to the scope of the debate, because as you would go on and have the experience of debating on your journey, you will see that not the first point you think that should be rebutted is important, or is the point that judge will consider important. So so avoid instinctively rebutting, and first wait and see what are the points that has to be rebutted and how to be rebutted. And also, one more important point: for rebutting, do not just directly buy into their case. Do not just say that yes, maybe you are right and this should be happening. First, try very hard to prove it from your own case that yes, this is not possible, or this is wrong from the perspective that we are showing, and this is not very likely to happen, right? So this is how you think of the rebuttals mainly. Now, coming to the, okay, how you, do you have any doubts in? Yeah, sure, Aarti.
So I still did not understand why rebuttals aren't necessarily binary.
Okay. So what what does that statement aren't really binary means is that rebuttals are not something that you put out to take down their cases. Rebuttals are something you put out to have engagement in the debate, because sometimes what happens is, sometimes that maybe their case is not very strong, so you do not directly engage with them. So rebuttals are necessary for engagement. That's what it means in the part where I'm saying it, they are not necessarily binary. They are not like, they are not success. By successful rebuttals, it means that it take down the whole opposition's case. Now they have to build up a new case, and winning is on your side. Or unsuccessful is, it did not touch the opposition's case at all, or your rebuttals was just an assumption you build up, and that's why still the opposition case is standing. That's what successful and unsuccessful means. And by they are not binary. I mean that whenever you put out rebuttals, they're not necessarily like taking down cases. They may be supporting your case somewhat, or they may be taking down some part of the opposition's case. Is it clear, or is it still not? Okay. If it's still not, if you have still some doubts, you could ask at the end. Okay. We could discuss more on this. Yeah, Ananya.
So, what is the difference between refute and rebuttal?
Okay. Basically, refuting means is refusing at all, but that this is likely going to happen, or this is even marginally correct. Rebutting or rebuttal. What is it? It is like you're providing something from your own case, or you're providing an alternative to it, or maybe you're providing an contrary to the case provided by the opposition. Like uh, refuting is something like if you come and say that this event is likely going to happen, I say no, this isn't going to happen. That's basically refuting. And what's rebutting? Rebutting is that you cannot, you're coming and saying maybe this could happen, but the likelihood of happening something else is more, so this is more likely to happen, or something like you, or maybe you structurally say that this is not going to happen because of these this reason, maybe because of the probability, or maybe because of this does not logically make sense, and you have taken an assumption that this is going to happen. So that is the main difference between refuting and rebutting. Basically, refuting is a subset of rebuttal. So is that clear?
So, you're trying to say that when a person is trying to refute it, he's actually providing some factual statements. Whereas when he's trying to rebut or rebut, he's actually trying to make us see some other point of view.
No. That's not I'm saying. Like, okay, I will come to that in there are two ways of reporting basically. One is that you make a contradictory. That you refute the case that this is not going to happen. Instead, the opposite is going to happen. That is refuting. And in rebuttal, there's another way of reporting. That's alternative. That you're saying that may happen, but this may also happen, and the likelihood of happening this, like something totally else. Now okay, uh, I'm having an example of this, but okay, let's take another example, that if we say that the house would make voting compulsory. Okay, now in this the opposition might say voting should not be compulsory because it is everyone's freedom to take part in the democratic process or not. But what could opposition come out and say is that they could make voting compulsory, but only for some part of the population, which is important. I'm not saying this is a very logical debate, but argument, but I'm just saying this is a kind of alternative which you provide, that um, maybe what you're saying is not totally correct, but what I am saying is this, and it has more probability of doing this. So that's what that's what the difference between refuting and rebutting. Like refuting is a part of rebut. Okay, is it clear now, or
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
yeah? Anyone else has any other doubts? Okay, moving on. Now, as I said, there are five ways where how you go on with a rebuttal, or how you how you make a rebuttal and deliver it. So first of all, of course, it's listening. That you cannot rebut things which you haven't heard. So try to listen to speeches carefully, mainly the parts where they are building their main argument, like their main cases, or on which whole their case they are building upon. So try to listen to that. Try to listen to the speeches more carefully. Understandable that sometimes you are writing your own notes, or maybe you are discussing with your teammates that yes, what is right, what is wrong, something like that. In that cases, you may miss one or two things, but when the opposition speech is going on, please try to listen to it carefully and note down the points which you think it is their main cases. And if you have a rebuttal at that point of time when you just heard it, just write it beside the main argument, so you do not forget it, or you can come up with it in your own speech, or in your teammate's speech. You could suggest it. Now, one main thing about debating in a team is having proper communication, right? So if you were not able to listen to someone, you're writing something, or you're making your own speech because your speech is after that, then properly communicate with your teammate. Maybe go and ask that what were the main points which I could include right now, or rebut right now in my own speech. And if they have any rebuttal ready for their own argument, then they could suggest you and you could say it in your own speech. So have a proper communication with your teammates on what to put in your own cases, or what to not put in your own cases. Just balance where just balance that everybody is someone or the other in your team is listening to the speech given. Because sometimes there are if you miss out on the main arguments of the opposition, then you won't be able to properly engage in the debate. And as I mentioned, engagement is very important for winning a debate. So um, it's important that you engage, you listen to the speeches of your opposition. And also sometimes also very importantly, you should listen to speeches of your own teammates. Because what it leads to it leads to that, if the opposition is coming and rebutting that, like let's assume you're a whip, or you're a deputy, then uh, the you have to give rebuttals of rebuttal. Like sometimes PM has said something, then LO comes and rebuts it, then DPM comes and rebuts it. Now, if you're a day LO, then you need to you should have heard LO's speech, so you could properly construct your own rebuttal of uh, rebu- the proper conclusion of that rebuttal, or you could properly counter the argument or the counter the rebuttals given. So also listen to your own teammates speech and analysis, how they're coming to their own points, and then construct a rebuttal. So listening is a very important aspect of making a rebuttal. Now coming to the second and a very major point is prioritization. As I mentioned in the starting, you should not passion rebut it, or you should not just go out and rebut everything they have said, or just every even small arguments, small statements. Instead, because not every argument or every case needs to be rebutted. Like it is not very fruitful to rebut every argument, because sometimes they are not even in the scope of debate, or sometimes they are very far from what the motion is trying to say. So in that cases, you do not engage with it. What you just say is that you this the arguments you are saying, or the case you are building, is not in the scope of debate, or not what is the motion trying to tell to you. So in that case, that's why in that cases you should not revert to all the statements they have given. You should only revert to the statements which are very important to the motion, or you should uh, revert to the arguments which you think would be very important to the motion, or the it lies in the scope of the motion. And one way to avoid this is, as I mentioned, to avoid reverting instinctively. Because when you revert it in the adrenaline of the moment, what happens is you waste your time in reverting some small, not very important, not very significant arguments. Now, okay, now main things. Now coming to the point, very major point, what to rebut exactly is, if the opposition's case is something on the lines which lies within your own case, which aligns with your own case, or maybe has directly opposite to your own case, you interact with it. You make a rebuttal on that case. Now, so what happens is that you in that process, helping your own case becomes easier. Because uh, if if like in the case of in the case of banning alcohol, but if your case is somewhat on the lines of that, if you're the opposition, and if it is on the lines of that, uh, illegal cartels could come up, and the people who want to drink alcohol will buy from these illegal shops, and the quality will not be good, or something like that. Then if the government is coming up and saying that uh, if government is coming up and saying that banning alcohol causes maybe causes people to drink and drive and something like that, then you do not directly engage with that. We could say that it is symmetric in our argument. They would illegally buy it and drink and drive. So that is how you rebut or interact with the argument, which does not directly lie with the case. Instead, you should, if the government comes up and says that like something alcohol, now banning of alcohol is necessary because well, something like directly just opposite of the case of like building. Okay, let's for this I'm not able to it does not have a direct opposite of the case what opposition says. So if like let's take another example of the house would ban hookups or something like that. Now in this case what majorly both the sides are weighing is, one would say that hookups the house does not support hookups or should not would not prefer hookups. So one would say that hookups do not have any emotional substance in it, or would it is just for the sake of it just for the sake of that one night or something like that. And the other case would say that some people just want to do it because they have stress or something like that. In those cases, that is a direct engagement. Like for example, the government comes up and says that it does not have any emotional substance, it harms your emotional health, and it also has some secondary harms like uh, catching STDs or something like that. Okay. I'm sorry if you're feeling it is very fast. You could ask doubts of the previous things also right now if you have any. If something from the previous thing is not clear, I will try to slow my pace. Okay. So yeah, about uh, interacting just the rebuttals with your own case. Yeah, about that example is that for if the motion is the house would not prefer hookups, or would house would ban hookups or something like that, then the government would come up and say it does not have any emotional yeah, I'm coming to the third point. I'm on the second point. Like, I'm the explicitly or implicitly interact with your case about that. Okay, I'll come to the third point. Don't worry. Okay, now in the second point, my example being that the government would say that it does not have any emotional substance. The opposition would come and say that these people just want some relief for one night or something like that. Then that is a very direct clash. But if someone says, someone comes up and says that government comes up and says that it has secondary harms like contacting STD due to that, or getting STD, getting some diseases due to that, then uh, hello. Okay, I think you are unmuted by mistake. Then muting you. If you have any doubt, then you may raise your hand again and unmute yourself after that. Yeah, as I was saying, then opposition do not need to directly engage with that or waste your time on saying that you can you do not contact STDs in this case or something like that. You can for rebutting those cases, you could easily mention that it is very symmetric. Like people, even people have if they have long-term relations, then they could also contract them if they do not follow safe sexual practices. So the this I mean that prioritize the things that directly engage with your case, that directly interacts with your case. Now coming to the third point, as mentioned, that prioritize the opposition to engage with based on a strategy. Basically, what you're doing in this is you engage on those parts of the opposition aspect on the basis of what you have strategized or how you're going to make your own case. So what that means is that what that means is when if you have a strategy that yes we are going to make a case from we have some problem, we make its solution, and we are going to engage it in this manner, and we are not going to touch the other aspect of this case, then do not engage or do not rebut that parts of the opposition speech, because it will become hard for your later speakers, or it could make your own case look weak to the judges. So for example, if okay Mm, okay, for this, what for, the motion for this could be like, okay, just a second, let me search a motion for this. Hmm. Uh, let's assume if a motion would say that would ban the advent of AI. The House would come up and ban the advent of AI. Then, if you're moving on the lines of that, if you're the opposition, you're moving on the lines of that. You're building AI with with the defenses, or very carefully you are building or taking the advancement into AIs. You're taking the advancement into building that AI. Then you're not touching the case of a rogue AI that could come up, or you're not touching the case of where you're not touching the case where you're making AI like very accessible to everyone. Then, if the government is coming up and saying that if it is accessible to everyone, then it may lead to crimes and something like that. Then do not prioritize rebutting that argument. Instead, prioritize something government has said along the lines of building the AI carefully or something like that. So that is very important to. Okay, yeah. I, I'm coming to it again. If you're not understood it now, let's assume the motion is the House would ban the advent of AI. Or to be specific, the House would not. Uh, uh, the House as an AI, as open AI, if assume if you all know about the Chat GPT, then as an open AI would not move. Would go on and build more versions or more models of Chat GPT and would stop there. Then if you're the opposition, you would come up and of course say that you would list down your own benefits, but where the engagement would occur is you would come up and say that we will build upon what very good case of your opposition would be. You would build upon and make develop the AI inside the boundaries, inside a very safe space. Like, it could not go rogue, or it could not come up and harm everybody, or you would develop it very with very much restriction, so nobody could misuse it or something like that. Now, if the government's arguments are that the AI you will deploy or you will put out in the world would have very it will be accessible to everyone, right? So if it is like, accessible to everyone, it will lead to having crimes in new ways or newer ways, and in very more harmful ways. So you do not need to go down that rabbit hole completely. You have to prioritize what you were trying to engage on, what you were trying to put out in your own case. You do not have to engage with that stuff completely. So that's what it means, that you are engaging with based on your own strategy. Basically, whatever you have decided that you will be providing your own case on, whatever basis or whatever base you have built up your own case. On that basis, if the opposition case is engaging, then you have to uh, rebut that case specifically. You do not need to go out of your own scope and rebut something that you're not going to say, or you're not going to able to hold it in your own case. Because if even if you go out and say some sentence like that, and if in the later speeches someone points it out and destroys his rebuttal, and what happens is you have wasted your time on those rebuttals. That's why you should prioritize that, to engage only on what you have decided that you will engage upon, or you will speak upon, or you will have your case built up upon. Like, if like for the example of AI, as I mentioned, if you're the opposition, you have to if you have discussed in your prep time that yes, you will only discuss about the goods of AI, and to rebut the about harms of AI, we would say we would put out in a very controlled manner, or we will control the use of AI very uh, carefully and very strictly. Then you don't need to go out and rebut the things which are not in the scope of your own, or which is not the burden of your own house. So that is what how the prioritization works. Okay, yeah, Achit.
So, like, what you are saying is we do not need to rebut what is not we are saying, right? So, wouldn't that make two different debates in just one single debate? Both the opposition and the proposition will speak on two different things. So, it will be two debates in one single debate. So, could you hear me?
Sir, you're not audible.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I got disconnected. Yeah, actually, you were saying something, you were asking something. Yeah, you may go.
So, I was asking that you were saying that we should only rebut what is around what we are trying to deliver. So,
Yeah.
both the opposition and proposition will engage on two different topics like that. So, wouldn't that make two different debates in one single debate?
Okay, yeah, that is a very good doubt you come with. But okay, what I was trying to say is on the cases like what you are saying that when the both houses would debate on very different topics, that happens very rapidly. For that, that happens very often in the novice debating circuits. So to uh, uh, to avoid that, I will come up in the later segments of this rebutting process. But what here, it does not mean that you're directly you're taking the main argument as something else and going on about it. What I'm saying is you should only take up the rebuttals or the engagements on the sides where you think with your own case you can rebut that, or with your own strategy you can rebut that thing, or which directly you should prioritize that over the other rebuttals or the other arguments, because what it helps, it helps build your case bigger than the opposition's case. Now what you are saying about them having symmetric arguments or symmetric debates, what happens in that cases, the whip speeches and the reply speeches become very important, because in those cases new things aren't going to come, so rebuttals are just going to come, or some or the uh, like summarization of the debate is going to come. So in those cases, in those speeches, what you have to do is you have to weigh your arguments in those speeches. If the debate had been symmetric through the first four speeches or the first five speeches, so in those cases, those four speeches become important: the web speech and the reply speeches. But in the if you're in the first four speakers, if you're like a deputy or a prime minister or a LO, then you have to prioritize your material, because you have to put out your whole case, a whole fleshed out case in front of the panel, so that you do not miss something, and also you engage with the opposition's case. So that's how you even engage, like you prioritize your rebuttals, and also not on simultaneously not have a symmetric debate. Is that clear?
Yes, sir,
Yes.
somewhat.
Okay. Yeah, Aarti, yeah, coming to you.
So you actually like I just wanted to correct me if I was wrong. You actually explained that we should rebut the points that actually align or are opposite to our own case so that it enhances our case.
Yeah, by aligning, I means that either like as I mentioned, it should not be something totally different. By aligning, I means that it lies in the same impacts, like in what your case has. Your case has a problem, a solution, and its impacts, right? Now, when like a mechanism, the solution, and the impact. So, if your impacts are common, or like the problem you're trying to solve is common, In that case, you should prioritize rebutting that argument first than taking an argument of the opposition, which is solving a completely different problem. That's what I mean by aligning and like opposing. Like it is solving the same problem or it has the same impacts. So uh, that's how it interacts with your own case, and that's why you should prioritize those cases. So you could easily weigh your own arguments or weigh your own solution compared to the solution of the opposition's case. Was I clear? Okay, cool. So this was about prioritization. Now coming to the placement, where should the do you have any other doubts?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the
Okay, yeah.
previous slide, could you just move? Yes, sir. Sir, in the third point, you're meaning to say that we should have a particular strategy to put forward our rebuttals.
Not rebuttals. Like when in your prep time, what you do is you discuss your own case. Like you have your own arguments or your own uh, referencing to the motion. You have your own solution. You have your own case that is uh, the problem presented by the motion is this, and what we are providing is this, and the impacts of this is something this. So with this strategy, like you are whatever you have discussed in your prep time is your mainly strategy or something like uh, is the topics you have built logical arguments upon rather than like touching a very new topic and then engaging with it is not what is recommended in prioritization. That's what I'm trying to convey with this point. What Arti, am I clear, or do you still have confusion? Okay, cool. Moving on to the next point. Coming to the placement of the rebuttals, where do you place it and how they are placed? So first of all, preemptive rebuttals. What are preemptive rebuttals? Basically, they are rebuttals you give before the opposition present that case, or you think that they might present this, they might have this argument, like which is very uh, on the nose that yes, they will maybe present this. This is going to be their main argument. Then what you do is you provide a rebuttal in before that only, so you do not waste time in your later speeches uh, arguing or engaging on that. So a way to provide a preemptive rebuttal is that first of all, see if they are going to mention it or they are going to include it or not. Because if you put out an argument which they may not present, then leave it, because in that case you are wasting your those 20-25 seconds of preemptive rebutting it. So only if you are very sure that yes, they are going to come up with that argument, then you can preemptive rebut it. It's not mandatory, but you could if you want to. And also do not be very direct that they might the opposition case or the proposition case could come might come up and say something, say X, then you should not provide preemptive rebuttals like that, because in the judge's impression those rebuttals do not stand, because if you are not sure that they might say this or that, then they will think that you're not sure about what the motion is, or they will not get a very clear image about that rebuttal from you. So be sneaky about it, be something like that. Say the rebuttal in a case something like on the contrary opposition case, the problem which could come up from the opposition is y, and the y does not stand because of some z ab series, something like that. Some example of this could be okay, some example of this well, yeah, we could say that if we take the example of well, let's see. Hmm. The house would ban social media or something like that, then it is not a very balanced debate. But if the motion is the house would ban social media, then if you are government, then and you are very sure of that, the opposition would come up and say that it helps connecting the world or something like that, then uh, you could come up and easily say that the the social media helps to connect the world, as opposition might as the opposition case would be. But it is doing more harm in the present world compared to its benefits, which are there. And you could list down those harms, or you could come up with the mechanisms of those harms. So that's how you put out a preemptive rebuttals. These are not if placed right, this could be very beneficial to winning a debate. But usually it is a very waste of time if you are preemptive rebutting. For if you are a beginner, then try not to include this in your debates much, as when you are a novice or a beginner, it's better to elaborate your case better than engaging with arguments which are not yet presented in the debate. Okay, and now about the rebuttals which are even presented and you have and explained by the opposition. So now, okay, now what how you include this is, you first make a rebuttal. Like, first you, if the opposition has provided some point, then you see that if in your speech where it is logically makes sense to integrate it in your speech, where it is comfortable, you will be able to flesh it out that this rebuttal is this, it does not stand, or it has some other alternative, it does not stand in the paradigm of the status quo in your own world. So you first see that, that's how you integrate a rebuttal. And also try not to repeat the rebuttal twice, or do not try to repeat it many times just to give the impact of the rebuttal. It's not like that. The judges are listening, and they will, even if you state it one time but pretty clearly, then you don't need to waste your time in repeating the same things over and over. Now, if you are integrating the rebuttal, then when you were, as I mentioned, when you are writing the points of the opposition in your sheet and you think that this is a rebuttal which you could write, you write it beside it, then leave some space for it. So if there is more engagement in the speech further on in the later speeches, then you could uh, write it down there or jot it down there. And also make clear concise note about rebuttals, so it's easier for you to notice when you're speaking, or it's easier for you to see that yes, this is much I have to speak and this much is left for me to speak. So you could adjust your speech in that manner. And if you're a deputy prime minister, a deputy leader of opposition, then rebuttals should be only the essential rebuttals, or the first priority, high priority rebuttals should be taken up by you, just to make your case not totally taken down by the opposition, and also save you some time for put down. Put down the impacts, and totally flesh out and elaborate on your case. As the PM would only have the PM or the LO would only have the time to state down your case and state down the world, set up the world and set up the arguments. So the elaboration is onto the deputies. That's why only the high priority rebuttals and the rebuttals are uh, which attack the fundamentals of your case should be taken down and should be taken up. So it makes the case runnable, and you do not waste your time on insignificant rebuttals, which could be handled by the whip in their speeches or the reply speeches. So that's how we integrate a rebuttal. Um Coming to the point, how you structure it. Now, this is the very main point. How you come up with a rebuttal, or how you structure the rebuttal is, Okay, first of all, any doubts in the placement of the rebuttal? Okay, yeah. There are two people. I guess Anvesha, we could start.
Sir, what if you're not satisfied with the answer to our rebuttal which our opposite team gave us? What if you're not satisfied with that answer?
Okay, if you are not satisfied, then like there could be many ways you are not satisfied. Like it is like with not satisfied. Could you elaborate on like what you mean by not satisfied?
What I meant was some of the points are unclear or perhaps missed out.
Okay, if the if the points are unclear, then what you basically do is that will be in the later of the session. Like if someone is speaking something as put down an argument, and it is not clear to you, then you could ask a POI in between their speech. If they take, then put down you can put down the clarification you want from them and ask. But if they are not properly clear of, if they are based on an assumption. If they are based off an assumption, you think that it is very wrong that this is going to happen, but this isn't going to happen, then you could easily state that yes, your arguments weren't very clear, or your arguments do not stand because you have taken a very big assumption that this is going to happen, but this does not, some X thing is going to happen and it leads to your argument, but X thing won't happen, does not happen always because of the reasons you have provided, because of the case you are clear. Like uh, okay, like if you are the opposition, I am the government, and I have said some things, I have taken a very big assumption that uh, if that assumption happens, then my argument X would occur. But you come up and say that the assumption you have taken would not occur because of ABC reasons, then you could easily take down that arguments. You could easily call out those things that you are saying that it's not clear, or if it is like not properly taken down. Then, like if you think it is important to call out, then do call out. Otherwise, you do not need to. Like you could just state a statement. The rebuttals provided by the opposition uh, does not lie in the scope of the debate, or not does not clearly take down my points, or do not something like that, and go on with your own speech. Yeah, is that clear, Anvesh?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Aarti, yeah, you could.
So can you please once again explain the first point of the previous slide?
Okay, yeah. So these 3 points in the first, like the sub points of the first point, is how you integrate into the how do you integrate a rebuttal in your speech. So first of all, if like you integrate a rebuttal in your speech, is how like so first of all, it should make logical sense. Like when you give out a speech, you should have a continuity, like it should have a proper structure. Like you're not jumping from one argument to other and then coming back to an argument. It should not work like that. It should have a proper flow, a proper continuity. That's why whenever you give a rebuttal, it should make logical sense to put that rebuttal, like if you're talking about a topic A related to a motion, then you should if the rebuttal is related to topic A, then only you mention that rebuttal in that when you are speaking about topic A. If you're talking about some other topic entirely, then you do not put the rebuttal down that. You could either say that rebuttal before the topic or after the topic, something like that. Was I clear in your doubt?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask you that what if some the opposition is asked as a rebuttal, and we are not able to, because our case, like there we are for the motion or against the motion. Sometimes our case may not be, our side may not be that favorable to the motion. So and they ask us a question which is difficult to answer. So what should we do in that case?
Okay, yeah, about ask a question in the sense of PI, right? Like in between your speech, or
Yes, or rebuttals. Like if sometimes it happens that you can't think of what answer to give.
Okay, yeah. In cases of like having an instantaneous question in between your speech or something like that, I have a slide prepared for that in the POI section, like what to do when you do not know how to answer the POI, or what to say when you know that you cannot answer the POI properly. Like basically, what you do, give a gist of it is either you delay that I will be speaking it. I will be coming to that afterwards, or what you do is if you think that you won't do not have that much time to cover it, you say you may say that this is not significant, or this is very confusing POI. And it was not very clear POI. You could call out that those kind of things to avoid the POIs you think
All right, sir.
may lead, you may not. Yeah, Pragya.
So could you please just quickly give an example of these two placements, just to be clear?
Uh, Examples for what again?
The external and integrated rebuttal, just a small example.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Just let me find a good motion for that. Khushi, I will come to this after giving an example. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So one example could be like, let's assume that the motion is the zoos should be banned in the nation. Like, the house would like to ban zoos. Zoos, the where animals are engaged. Then, if if the opposition comes up and says that it should not be banned because of if the opposition's case is something upon the lines that in zoos maybe they are in a very small space compared to some jungle or something like that, but still they get um, like they have mainly two arguments. First, it boosts the economy as people come and visit, they pay for the tickets, so it boosts the economy of that region. And second, the animals, even for the animals, they are provided they are provided with proper food and shelter, so they have a better life compared to in the jungles where maybe due to pollution or maybe due to hunting they aren't even properly able to live out there and starve and die. So if that is the argument of the opposition, and now you are the government, then you have to take down that. Now, if your speech is structured like that, that first you have to go on to and analyze the viewpoint of animals. Then you could so the like your rebuttal is that the about the economy, boosting of economy, while a rebuttal that you are saying that it boosts economy, but you are being inhumane to animals. like uh, or for example, if you're providing an alternative to the uh, their argument of that they have a confined space, but they are getting food and they are able to having a proper shelter compared to in polluted jungles where they could be hunted or something like that. You could easily provide an alternative. A very easy alternative to that would be that national parks or wildlife sanctuaries where you could keep, they would have more space and the same things as said, proper shelter and good food. So that is your rebuttal. Now when you are giving your own speech, you're the government, and you have your own case that yes, animals in zoo have confined spaces, they do not they lose their natural touch, or like they are not able to live their life naturally or something like that is your argument. Now you do not put the rebuttal to this uh, in analyzing the aspect of humans, like for example, humans being inhumane to animals. Like if you compare like about the like you have two rebuttals. For example, the first one of economy is that you are you're keeping them in a cage. Like if the same happens to humans, what would humans feel? And this is very bad or something like that. It is not very unethical. And the second rebuttal is that wildlife sanctuaries are better compared to zoos. Now, the wildlife sanctuary point should come up when you're analyzing the viewpoint of animals. That why are animals good? Why animals are better off, are worse off in zoos and better off in national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. And when you're talking about humans, like about the rebuttal to the economy should come up in the human section, where you're talking about how humans also, if you do not ban zoos, and how humans would be harmed in some case or other. So that's how you integrate your rebuttals in your speech. Like it should make logical sense. Like if you're talking about topic A, and if the rebuttal is of about topic A, then you mention it there, and do not jump around the rebuttals, or do not jump around the topics. So that's what I meant. If this example was good enough. Okay, yeah. Aarti.
So can we do rebuttals using facts? Like, for example, if the topic is zoos should be banned, and I stand against or in the opposition of the motion. So I say that approximately, for example, 50% of the animals today which are living in the forests have died because of hunters and all other activities. But in zoos, they are. But my worthy opponent said that zoos are not safe, but zoos are keeping these animals safe from these kind of dangers. So, sir, would that work?
Yeah, in some cases, like if like what the main thing is about using statistics or facts based in the debates is that there is no one there to verify. And like if you are able to logically come up to that yes, uh, like you could say that logically, if you're talking about unsafeness or safeness, like if you're in the opposition and they're unsafe in the wildlife, then you could logically say that in wildlife, even if you're the opposition, even if you say that in wildlife centuries, people do hunt due to corruption or something like that. Like you could logically come up and give an example. In that cases, in those examples, you could come up with fact and give facts as rebuttals. But a direct rebuttal should not be a fact, because you cannot be sure that if this data has happened or has been surveyed for this, then it would repeat every time. So yeah, facts are very important or very crucial, but it should be given in form of examples, or given in form of analogies, rather than as a direct rebuttal to the argument.
So, sir, first I can rebuttal that no, they are actually safe in zoos, and then I can give an example, a verified
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. Prisha, you.
Sir, it's actually Devansh.
Okay, yeah.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
anyhow, sir, point two. It says that if you're a deputy, only the essential rebuttal, only do the essential rebuttal for your case. So, what if the person you're rebutting has given 2 points that align to what your debate is? Then is there a systematic order, or you only just counter one of them and ignore the other? Or
Okay,
what?
like if there are 2 points and they both engage with the case and
Yeah,
are
so they're
high
both important.
priority events. Okay, yeah. So how do you differentiate between them is you see the impacts of both the cases. Like when you rebut, like if there are two arguments, both would have different impacts, right? So you see that which has more likelihood to happen, and which is more important to the debate, like which is more important to the motion of the debate. So the impacts also, which has more significant impacts compared to the other. So you weigh these points, and then you put the one which has more significant impacts, which has more, like which has both more likelihood and more importance. Then you put that out first in your deputy speech, and you could give the second point for the whip to handle it, and proceed with the debate in that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Aarti. Yeah, Gaurav.
Sir, my question is also along the same lines. So, sir, in the last line of this particular slide, it's mentioned that the statement promulgates that we must pigeonhole ourselves or constrict ourselves with few rebuttals only as deputy ministers. So, sir, is this a substantiated or established rule in the debating which we always have to adhere or attest to?
Uh, could you repeat your question, the last sentence? I wasn't able to hear you.
So, the bottommost line of the slide says that the deputy minister has to do few rebuttals when compared to whip speaker. So is it necessary or is it substantiated or established that we always have to adhere or attest to this particular, I mean, rule or regulation?
Okay, no, you do not have to always adhere to it. It is just a suggestion. It's like a suggestion that you could do. So it becomes easier for you to include your all your own points, because when you as a deputy, what is your role is that as the whip cannot come up with new points and new arguments, so it is a very huge responsibility on the deputy that he has to put out all the points. So even if like the reason to put out all your own points in the debate is, so even if some point, because sometimes if the debate is very neck to neck, so even if you have put out some new argument, one small new argument, and it stands out better than the oppositions, then it may help you win the debate. So as a deputy, it is very important that you put out all your points, and that's why you need as a deputy you need to just prioritize rebutting the points which just has like which just makes your case tenable, or which just attacks like the fundamental part of your cases. So the judge panel or the opposition panel does not think that your case has been totally taken down and you're just speaking something else. So just a suggestion to put out. It's not compulsory to adhere to it. It's not like you always have to do this. But in the cases where you think the debate could go neck to neck, you should try doing this. So it would help you win the debate.
So, sir, like a deputy, I can scrutinize those arguments which are unsounding and I have counterparts for it. And there is no limit for it.
Yeah, if you're a deputy and if most of your points are the more if all of your points have been taken up, have been to put out in the debate, and you still have time, and then you can of course go on to other rebuttals. You could scrutinize all their points and uh, put out all the rebuttals you have in the speech. But like if you have too much material and very less time, then this is how you prioritize and how you place your things in the speeches.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Aarti.
So, sir, for especially for a deputy who has to introduce the debate, sorry, sir, so especially for a deputy, the person who has to set up the base or introduce the debate, for him, he has to prioritize the rebuttal if necessary or not necessary. Like that you're saying,
No,
right?
no, no, wait. Okay. Okay, first of all, the Prime Minister sets up the debate in the in the paradigm of the opposition, and leader of opposition sets up the debate in the paradigm of opposition. The deputies are the ones who extend the case and engage with the opposition's case. Like Deputy Prime Minister is the second speaker in the government's.
Okay. Deputy, I thought you were the
It's
PM
fine.
and I think. Oh, thank you, sir.
Do you guys have any other doubts? Okay, moving on. Moving on to the structure. Okay, now I would be a little fast because I have to cover the POI section also, and the time is going to be up. So yeah, uh, now coming to the structure of how do you make the rebuttals and how do you put it out. So first of all, you see like it is a three-way process. First you think what they have said specifically, then what is your tired responses, like which response has to be first, which response has to be second, and what is the implication of that, or what is that impact of the rebuttal you're trying to make. So first, first what you have to refer to is what you have to be clear and concise of what you are reverting to, or what you are trying to reply to. Basically, if you are trying to reply to an argument, then you simply in one sentence you say that I'm trying to reply to the argument of the opposition that has X and Y things, or that means X and Y or something like that. Be clear so there is no confusion in it, or there is no um you do not have to waste time clarifying on what is you're reverting to, or what about what your rebuttal is going to have. So even the judges have a clear idea of that. Yes, the rebuttal is about to be this, and engagement is going to be this. Now about tired responses is if like if for a rebuttal you have three things that are against that argument. For an argument you have three rebuttals, or the three responses that yes, your argument is wrong because of A, B, and C. Then how you make it is that first you put the first rebuttal that your argument is not true if the A reason is that your argument is not true because of A reason. Then you move on and say even if it was true, then B reason, because B reason is it becomes not important. It is not significant compared to the benefits we are providing, or it is more harmful compared to the harms we are providing. So you put even if it's true, then the B reason. And like on the last thing that even if even if we consider your argument as true, and even if you consider your event as true, then you weigh that even if your argument is true, then the benefits provided by your argument are less compared to the benefits provided, or are benefiting more to the are benefiting less to the stakeholders compared to the benefits provided by us. And if you if you structure a rebuttal in this manner, what happens is, as it has multiple responses, then it becomes more hard for the opposition to take it down, as they have to go on to every case. That if you said they have to rebut all the three cases, or you have to respond to all the three or four responses you have come up with, it becomes more time consuming for them and becomes more hard. So it becomes hard to take it down, and it becomes a strong rebuttal in that case. Now when you put out a rebuttal, you have to also mention what the rebuttal is achieving, or what the rebuttal is trying to do in the case, in the motion. So you first mention that did it successfully mitigate the harm, what it was trying to say, like for example, if like their motion was about the argument was about that there is a stakeholder B, A, and their argument was about that that your X is doing harm to A. That's why your case does not stand. Now you have to rebut it, you have to defend your own case. Now you have to say that uh, but what are you saying is X, but Y also happens in this case, and Y helps mitigate the harms of X. That's how you rebut the case, or that's how you show that it is successfully mitigating the effects or the harms of X. Or the second thing could be that they have taken an assumption and built the case totally upon that assumption. And you could easily say that the assumption you are trying to provide is wrong, is does not stand, or it has very less likelihood. That's why the case you are trying to show, or the case you have built upon, is does not exist or does not stand. So it helps to show that with this three-way structure, you could show that yes, I'm pointing to this rebuttal, this is my rebuttal, and it does this, like it has these impacts on the stakeholders and the case. So it you do not have to leave to the judges to interpret that yes, this rebuttal does this or that or something like that. If you provide it, then with a clear thing, you successfully put the rebuttal uh, in the debate. Okay, yeah, okay. If you want to, okay, tired responses, right? What you mean by tired responses is that first you come up and say that first you um okay let for example that what could be some motion could be, wait a minute, just a second. Okay, some motion could be that this house would ban animal testing of medicines or something like that. Then uh, government could come up, the opposition's case is that humans do not have okay, like you have to test those medicines somewhere. If you ban animal testing, then when would you ban where will you test these medicines, and how would you prove that it is safe for it is safe for humans to take? Now of course this is a question that has been put up by the opposition to the government. Now what you can do is, uh, as the government, what you could do is, first of all, to rebut this case, what you do is that you have multiple responses to that. For example, if one response is that you could experiment them on some on cells grown in the lab or something, on experiment lab grown tissue culture or something like that. You could put some technical terms out there. One could be you could you could take an alternative route to that, like you ban animal testing on all animals, but you like except the animals which are very ill, you could test these medicines on those animals. So you even if the animal is very old and has lost his its capability to be in the nature, then you could test it on that animal. So you're not wasting too much of that life or something like that. You could come up. So like, and so on, like it could be 2 to 3 responses you have. Now how do you put it is, uh, like first you put that uh, the thing you say that you they will be not be able to do any testing, you will not be able to prove that it is safe for humans. So for that you bring up that you could test it on lab grown cells or lab grown tissue cultures or something like that. Now, for the case of where you say that you only try this on specific animals or specific old animals which do not have much life in them, then you say you take this rebuttal after the first rebuttal and connect it that if for some reason you have not able to do tissue culture, or for some you need to do it on a completely living organism, then you take only a specific set of animals which which are which are less ethically wrong, and you could take it on them, and like you could show it that yes, this is what uh, this is how we answer to your question, or how we respond to your case. So that is how you tier your responses, or this is how you put your responses. Basically, the first point in tier responses, it means that the argument you have put, if uh, it is not true, if that has a reason, then you say that this is not true, and because of these specific reasons. Yes, Suvir, I'm sorry if I pronounced it.
How do we take what they said to action?
Could you speak a little louder, because
Sir, how could we take what they said into action?
how could we take
Excuse,
more?
yes, sir. Could you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah,
Hello.
yeah. Uh, I could hear you clearly now. Am I not audible? Hello, am I not audible?
So you are audible.
Okay, okay. Okay, I will come back to Subir after that. Achal, you may go.
So, in the example you gave, you mentioned 2 points: lab generated tissue cultures and old
Yeah,
animals, right?
yeah,
So, now if the opposition then says that generating like lab generated tissue cultures are very expensive, and old animals may give not inaccurate results because they're actually old, they do not have a like strong immune system, so their response to the medicine may not be so accurate. Then
yeah,
what will be the rebuttal we will give to this?
yeah. These are very good rebuttals to the points which I had mentioned. So basically, no. So in that debate, what you do is you come up with ethical considerations of it, uh, sorry, you come up with as your government, you come up with practical considerations of it. If you have to balance both the ethical sides of it, because the main argument of government would be ethical, that testing on animals is very inhumane and it is very ethically wrong, right? That's what you're putting down. And the government, so the opposition comes up and says that it becomes impractical to ban these things. Now, if you're reverting it to say that you could practice it on tissue culture, but then you have to now in this case the weighing comes down. It comes down to weighing that if you are saying it is expensive, but it is also what we say uh, inhumane to do it. So the ethical considerations of it is more harmful. Like you could say that if you are testing it out on animals, then it becomes uh, you could say like something you could weigh both these things. That's how you rebut. You do not directly rebut in these cases. So and to the point of about old animals and inaccurate results. It's similar that when you think that the government cases like the opposition's case is very strong and uh, doing this tiny rebuttals or insignificant rebuttals would not do something, you usually weigh those arguments down. And the example which I gave is not very it is not very it's not very structured or it's not very layered how a rebuttal should be. It's just an example how you tear down uh, your responses. So that's how. Um,
Okay, sir, got it.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other doubts? Yeah, Kushi.
So what if I will take one of your previous examples, the motion believes that alcohol should be banned in a state. What if my opposition states that if I must be supporting alcohol to not be banned, then I must also be supporting the other substances that present the same purpose as alcohol, and they give some reasons, and they also tell me means they are telling me this reason. So how am I supposed to answer to that? Like I'm also stuck in that particular point that oh my god, they must be right. Or
Okay. First of all, what you could like on the first basis, you could rebut this point is that if they are saying that uh, if they are saying that if you are supporting not banning of alcohol, then you are supporting not banning of other substances also. That is a very big assumption because alcohol is a very different thing compared to other substances. Other if you say other illegal drugs or something like that. So that is a very big assumption. That is a very big assumption taken on the side of the argument given by the opposition of you. So first you take down that assumption that this is a very big assumption, and then you move on to that why only specifically we are supporting alcohol because uh, compared to other substances, first of all, it is easily accessible to people. Second, this is just examples. You could come up with your own. This is very spontaneous. So this may be not that deep. But first, that it's maybe more easily accessible. Second, that other substances are more addictive compared to alcohol and have more harms if a person is addicted compared to alcohol. Like uh, in case of alcohol, you have to take it regularly, or like you have to be very addictive to it, and it has implications over the long term. Your liver gets damaged after the age of some 40 or 45 or something like that. So you could say that it is less addictive and it is less harmful compared to the substances. It Supporting of alcohol does not mean that you're supporting those things, and you're not supporting those things but these things because of these reasons, like that. So that's how you take down the opposition.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts? Okay, good. Moving on. Now, the last part of how you debate is first of all, you run your rebuttals on those two major things: the likelihood and the importance. The likelihood that if an argument is provided, how likely or how probab- sorry, probabilistic it is to that it will happen or it will occur. And the importance is that how that argument's happening, or how that argument is important to the scope of the debate, or how it is important to uh, the motion which has been there, or how it is important to the burden provided. So you you could build your rebuttals on these two things. You could show that the likelihood, like maybe you could show that the likelihood of happening it is less. So it is not worth considering that argument in the scope of this motion, or maybe it is not important. Maybe it is not a problem at all to the motion. That's why it should not be considered in the debate. Now, second way how you could make your rebuttals, like this is a rebuttal toolbox you could consider, just a fun name given that. One could be that you counter frame it, like as I said, it is used in preemptive rebuttals, that you say that the opposition case is this, and but this does not stand because of this. That's how you counter frame it. It's usually used in preemptive rebuttals. So basically you say that maybe the opposition comes and say that X would lead to Y because of this reason, but you come up and say that X would not lead to Y because of some other reasons which are better or more significant compared to the reasons provided by the opposition. That's how we counter frame it. Now coming to the second one, that is like some assumptions, as I said, as a very good example. Like if they say that if you're supporting alcohol, then you are even supporting the other drugs and other substances. That is an assumption you have taken. So you say that this assumption, this is a unproven assumption, a very bad big assumption, and you come up and said that this does not hold because of the assumption. Now the third thing you do is you rebut the mechanism. You may say that the mechanism you have provided is not practical, or is not it does not stand in the status quo. It is like it is not possible to do using the assumption you have taken, using the mechanism you have provided, that it does not work like that. So you revert to the mechanism. That is the third thing you may do if that is you want to revert to. Now the fourth thing is reverting the impacts. Now in the case of impacts, you question whether the impacts provided by the opposition are really important. Like let's assume they have given a very good case and they have given a very good solution, but the solution's impacts are not very significant to the debate, are not very important to the motion which have been provided. uh, okay, just a second, let me come give an example for this. Is So if let's assume if the debate is between capitalism and socialism, right? Now the social if the socialism house arguments or the argument is that it it does not have the let's say second, yeah, it leads to people having more, like something like, eh, if all the property is government controlled, then you can easily keep checks on legal land holdings or something like that. If an argument is that, and its impacts are that, uh, like, if there are no illegal land holdings, then people would have fair land sharing and fair land sharing, land distribution between them. Now, you question that, is this impact relevant to the debate of capitalism versus socialism? Like, is this impact only specific or only going to happen on their side? Is it like that? Then you could easily question it and come up and say that no, it is like, it is symmetric on our side also. If you keep proper checks and proper structure of checking that, evaluating that, then you could easily see that land distribution on your side could also be fair and could be easily monitored. So it's about how you rebut the impacts. And the last is, you make it symmetrical. That is, if this is happening in your case, and it's happening in our case also, and that's why you could not say that it is specific to your case and it is harmful in our case or something like that. Like, uh, some example, as in like, okay, like two-party system versus, if you go political, then two-party system versus multi-party system. In that case, if you say more people would have, like, you could say more, something like, in the case of that, in two-party versus multi-party system, you say that people have more freedom of speech in case of two-party system, multi-party system, because they can create more parties and come up with that. But you could say it is symmetrical in two-party system, because someone could come up and put their ideas in that specific party, and then those ideas could be propagated from that party into the population like that. It's a very ill-framed example, but that's how you get the idea of it from it. Yeah, if you have any doubts in rebuttal, you could, execution would say that. Okay. Now, the last way how you execute your rebuttal is, there are, as I mentioned, there are mainly two ways how you put down your rebuttal. First of all, that you contradict it or you refute it, that you know what you're saying is wrong, what you're saying is false. And the second is, maybe what you're saying is right, but this alternative could also happen, and this alternative is more likelihood or more important compared to what you are trying to say. So this is how you, these are basically mainly two modes of how you put down your rebuttals. Like, either you contradict the other's point or you put down alternative to it. Now, let's come to an example. It's too much over time, but okay, I'll be quick. Like, this is the motion. The House opposes the attempt of feminist movement to redefine roles and behaviors traditionally associated with women. Like, you have to be a housewife, wear makeup, have long hair, and wear some specific dresses. Uh, these behaviors have to be redefined according to feminist movement, and feminist movement should support, the house would oppose this, as is just shown empowering. I hope you could read the motion, right? Okay. Now, you are the leader of opposition and you want to run the argument that many women will not be able to support to the feminist movement, will not be able to relate to the feminist movement which will compromise the feminist movement able to fight for the equal pay and fight for the equal opportunities for the women. So now this is what the PM has briefly mentioned, and what kind of responses. Mainly, what you have to come up with, you have to come up with two kind of responses. One is contradictory, and other is alternative. So this is what the PM has mentioned. Now you guys could read, you could think. I will give you 4 minutes, and then you could raise hand and come up with the rebuttals.
So responses in the sense when it to refute.
Yeah, you guys can speak to me, raise your hand. Yeah, see.
Responses in the sense when it to refute.
What? Could you repeat?
So responses in the sense that they need to refute it.
Yes. Like basically, you have to think of two kind of responses. One is contradictory response to this PM speech or PM's argument, and the second is alternative response to this. If you want to see motion, you could tell. I could take back.
Yes, sir. I want to see the motion. I couldn't read
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Here's the motion. Either you could write down the motion. Then. Yeah, yeah.
So could you just tell me what is the meaning of the motion actually when you explain it? I got disconnected.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So basically, the meaning of the motion is okay. Just a sec, yeah. I would move on to it, and I would also reply to Taspia. So first of all, the motion means that you are the opposition in this motion, and the motion is that the house would oppose the attempts of feminist movement to redefine the roles, like as the feminist movement is tries to project it that the roles such as traditional roles as wearing makeup, having long hair, or trying to be a housewife as the traditional roles of are which are associated with women. The feminist movement is trying to redefine these roles, and is trying to portray that this redefining is empowering the women, the women section of the society. The house would try to oppose these attempts, and now you are the leader of the opposition, and you have to run the argument that this will alienate the women from the feminist movement, because uh, now when the women will feel alienated, what would happen is the feminist movement would not gain that much of traction, and would not be able to campaign properly for the things they stand for, like the equal pay among in the workforce for women and men, or the equal opportunities given to both the genders in that manner. uh, and yeah.
Sir, so are we opposing this movement or are we with the movement?
No, this is not about opposing or supporting the movement. This is about basically that the feminist movement is showing that redefining these roles. For example, like the feminist movement says that you do not need to wear makeup, you do not need to have long hair uh, as it has been traditionalized since years. If you're short hair, it is empowering that the feminist movement is supporting the short hair. So the house is basically opposing those the showing of or like redefining these roles as empowering. It is opposing the redefining of these roles. Like basically it is opposing that. Feminist movement is showing that like if everyone is in comfortable with Hindi, could I switch to that?
Yeah, sure. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. हाँ, yeah. So like the feminist movement दिखाना चाहता है कि अगर तुम्हें लंबे बाल नहीं रखने और छोटे बाल रखने हैं, तो तुम you are free. You are able to fight for your own rights, and it is showing कि uh, you could fight for your rights. You are being empowered. वो like basically the feminist movement is saying that if you do not want to keep long hair, then it is fine, it is empowering. Instead it is supporting our own movement, but the house wants to oppose. The house कहना चाहता है कि तुम ये जो दिखा रहे हो कि ये empowering है, वो नहीं है. Like the house is saying that जो empoweringness जो तुम दिखाना चाहते हो, it does not stand like that. It is opposing the motion. So it's like that. Yeah, you read it carefully, you will try to get it. And maybe let me switch to the next slide. This is the PM's speech, or this is the PM's argument. So if you read it, you will try to understand what the motion is exactly.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So by behaviors here, the PM means to say the behaviors like the traditional behaviors of women, like having long hair and all that.
Yeah, wearing makeup and trying to be a housewife or something. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Daniel.
Sir, actually, yes, sir. Actually, the motion and the PM should be supporting that motion. But in his speech, it is like he is giving a go to that that the feminist movement should actually, promote having short hair as empowerment.
Could you repeat what you're trying to say?
Like what I'm trying to say is that in the motion it says that this house opposes the fact that having short hair is empowering for women. But like the PM is actually saying that a feminist movement should have this option of opting out of these roles. Like the PM is against.
So can I answer this?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah. Good.
So according to me, if that is true, the motion is saying that mostly feminism is also shown as like girls who have boyish behaviors, tomboyish behaviors like short hair and everything. It's called feminism. That is what feminism is promoting, and the house is saying no, like traditional things like wearing makeup is also uh, okay, right? That is what the house means, no?
Yeah, like basically that as you mentioned, the tomboy behavior as empowering. The house opposes that sense or the statement the feminist movement tries to make, that showing tomboy behavior is empowering. The house is trying to oppose to it. So first of all, like the the thing mentioned by I guess Danya mentioned it, that these behaviors and roles are like, sorry, the PM, what the PM is opposing the case of the government. No, it's not like that. The PM is stating that uh, like um, what the PM speech is about, that what the PM what the PM's speech is about is that, as you if you read the last statement, it is trying to convey it to you that uh, like it should be acceptable to opt out of these behaviors, which is compromised by celebrating them as empowering. Like, if you expand it now, this is a very statement which could be expanded out more. That if you celebrate them as empowering, then what happens is, even if, like, uh, for example, it becomes like, if in a culture where feminism or the feminist movement is not so relevant, then in that culture what happens is, just a second, I will come to your doubts. In that culture what happens is, uh, like, it becomes stigmatized to even, what we say, it becomes stigmatized to even have short hair, or it becomes stigmatized to become tomboy or something like that. So like uh, what you have put in the chat, I guess, right? But what the PM speech is about is that, it should, like, if the feminist movement tries to portray it as a empowering, then it may become unacceptable in some parts. Uh, like, they are trying to put down that, how do we say, yeah, they try to put down that, you need to make it acceptable in a very simple, stagnant way, not by putting it as empowering or something like that. Okay, Lena, you may go.
So, can the answer for this one be something like it's a woman's choice on what she wants to do with her hair or something, and it does not have anything to do with empowering or anything?
Yeah, you could say that, yes. Okay, Koshi.
So first of all, I would like to just confirm the motion that it basically states that, like Pragya told, that the Prime Minister is trying to tell that means not being the stereotypical means like lady of the house is not empowering, and we the opposition are trying to say that that does not matter because a woman can do whatever she wants, and it focuses more on the like the societal means patriarchy, like how they are treated in work fields or that.
Yes, exactly, yes.
I would like to answer that question. That first of all, there is no proper statistic that that the PM states that the most women resent their behavior and roles, because we are not sure. We don't know each and every woman out there. So claiming that most women would resent these behavior and role would be outright wrong. And then feminism is not just about empowering or based on the physical looks, but rather what a woman wants to do and having the freedom to do what she actually wants.
Yeah, that is a very good response to what you could put. But
Should
okay,
I?
yeah, just a second, I'm going to help you. And yeah, I see many people want to have raised their hands. Kushi, that's a very good response to what you said, and yes, it could stand. Like, but instead of saying that most, like, you have not gone to all women's, or by statistics you do not know all women resent their behavior. Uh, but instead of that statement, you could make that, women, like, what is more important for the women, like, having long hair or like having equal pay? Like, you could start with those things. Is it clear?
Sir, sir, but isn't the
Oh,
motion actually that the house is opposing the fact that by making tomboyish behavior and all that, you're empowering that, but the ones who do not want to do that, they might feel alienated. That's what the house is going on about, right? So that's
No,
slightly
that's
opposite.
what the opposition has to go on about. Like, okay, wait. What you're trying to say, right? That like
The house is
that's what.
opposing the feminist movement, that you're, by wearing makeup and all that, you're not empowering it.
No. Like, okay, this is okay. So what the if the feminist movement is trying to portray having not wearing makeup or not having short hair and having tomboyish behavior as empowering, then what as the opposition you have to do is that not many women are like that. Many women like to wear maybe like to wear makeup or maybe like to have long hair. Then those women will feel alienated. They will think that feminist movement is they will think that the feminist movement does not think them do not think them as empowered or do not think them as powerful, and with that what will happen is the feminist movement will lose traction among the common women, and it will compromise the main motive of the feminist movement to have equal rights in, like, for example, in the workforce or for in the other things, in equal opportunities and like that.
Sir, so the answer for this can be slightly related to the fact that a lot of women do this by choice. It's not that they are forced to do it, but they do it by choice.
Yeah, that is also a very good response to it. Basically, that is somewhat of an alternative that you're trying to provide. Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So you had asked us to provide two kinds of rebuttals, contradiction and alternative. So for alternative, I thought of this that instead of the movement supporting instead of the movement supporting only boyish, tomboyish behavior like short hair and not wearing makeup, they can support all kinds of women who because they can support all kinds of women who prefer to grow their hair or don't prefer to grow their hair.
Yes. Yeah, that is a very good alternative report.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, Aarti, you may go on.
Sir, I had prepared a response. If
What?
I had prepared a response.
Oh, yeah. You may tell.
Okay, so dear folks, the feminist movement that the PF just mentioned, it's not going to be it's not going to be lasting for so long, and I'm here to prove that because of my following reasons. Firstly, let me inform you, members of the jury, that feminism is not only based on how you look, on your physical appearance, etc. It includes the overall personality of a woman. Secondly, what today's women want are not only how they dress, are not only the independence of how they want to look, they also want independence in job opportunities, freedom for education, and further development. Thus, an independent woman is the best woman who has the right on her own appearance. And further, this kind of movement that the PM is defining, it only focuses on the appearance of the woman, not the independence, and it is focusing on just the smaller part of the movement. Thus, most of the women would not like to join such a movement that's only focusing on these parts, and therefore it can perish in at such a younger age.
Okay, yeah, that's a very well structured response that you have created. Uh, Kudos to that, and yes, it's very valid that you that and it lies into the contradiction section of this argument. Uh, does anyone else have to want to expand or say anything else about the rebuttal to this argument? Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, I will probably pronounce your name wrong. So yeah.
So, can we say that the proposition by saying that most women resent these behaviors and rules is converting the prospect of feminism into a unidimensional concept
Uh,
rather than a multidimensional
wait.
concept?
Uh, I'm sorry, but um, your voice is cracking. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. So I was saying that the proposition by saying that most women resent these behaviors and roles is converting feminism into a unidimensional concept rather
It's still
than.
cracking. Could you type it out? I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure.
Maybe. Yeah, Shreya.
Yes, so can the response be like that the feminist movement needs to be more inclusive for different choices women make? This could involve like celebrating women who choose not to be mothers, for example, or who prefer traditionally masculine careers.
No, sir.
Guys, now am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Just a second. Yeah. Uh, I guess Shreya was asking about.
So I was just like I was asking you if this response will be right or wrong. That the feminist movement needs to be more inclusive for different choices women make. This could involve like celebrating women who choose not to be mothers, or for example, or who prefer traditionally a masculine careers.
I'm still not able to hear your voices clearly. Shreya, could you also type it? I've got Shiny's doubt. Okay. Yeah, that's a very good rebuttal that you could put down. That's a contradiction that you put down. That you say that whatever the Akshayani what you have written down is the uh, rebuttal to that. Yes, that's a very good rebuttal that you say that it defeats the purpose of feminism, and that's why the House like whatever you have said, whatever the PM has said is wrong, basically. Okay, who is first? Lena, yes.
So can the argument go like by defining feminism as how you appear or how you present yourself to the world, you're cutting down the fact that
I
feminism
guess from your
supports.
side, I'm sorry to interrupt, but your voice is also cracking. So guys, just
I'll type it.
put down your doubts in the chat. I will one by one respond to it. My voice is clear to you guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Instead of raising hands because I'm not able to hear your voice clearly, uh, put down your things in the chat. Okay. I have received for Shreya.
Excuse me, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Shreya, your argument is also pretty nice that um, it shows that what feminist movement consists of and why the idea got by the PM is wrong of feminism. Now, some of the suggestions are like what you could provide it is in that rebuttal to this is as an alternative rebuttal is the first one and the contradictory. The first one, as it mentions, that many people hold dearly their long hair and maybe the makeup and stuff. So they have chosen this life and it is not forced to them. So you cannot say that many people listen to it. Okay, wait.
Excuse me, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Just a second. Screen. Is the screen visible to you guys?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so one of the alternative rebuttals, as firstly mentioned by first suggestion given, is that alternative could be that not everybody uh, has uh, has been forced to have to do makeup or have long hair. Maybe they just like it. So, as mentioned, you do not have any statistics. Maybe women like having this. And a contradictory rebuttal could be that. As mentioned, you by you all that like you are limiting feminism to how women presents the world. It contradict like it is also a rebuttal, a contradictory rebuttal to the arguments presented by the PM. And another one is that it is somewhat similar to what you have provided, what I have mentioned, that like uh, maybe they would be forced into this behavior, but there is no clear mechanism of it, and maybe there is a soft societal pressure, but opt out is possible. So um, we see that not that women do pursue this career and ultimately buy do not wear makeup when do not want to. So whatever we have provided, that yes, your central idea that the PM's idea does not hold on to the idea taken by feminism and it limits what feminism stands for. That is also a very good rebuttal that you have provided. But what you could do this, like this was just an exercise for alternative and contradictory rebuttal. But what would be better, like if you're providing this rebuttal in a real debate, just a second, Aarti. What you could do is then you could go on and take the provide or mention state the implications of this, that when you limit when you limit the feminism, or when you like you say that the feminism is only this much, or when you take down the idea of feminism, what happens is and you could go on with the impacts and implication, like less traction, then you will not be able to fight for equal pay and stuff. Yes, Aarti now.
So I wanted to ask that right now only someone posted or said a rebuttal which included the word that women should also do masculine careers. I don't know who that was, and you said it was right. Like if the word masculine careers is included, wouldn't that sound very like sexist of the opposition? It would be very
Okay,
questionable.
maybe I missed that sentence or stuff. Okay, but okay. Acha, okay. Okay, see, yes. Yeah, sometimes what happens is, yes, about these things is that these things that you need to be careful how you state your arguments. And of course, if you're fighting for a feminist movement, you need to be careful about how you put your statements out
Yes, so
into the,
that was
yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh,
I think there's a mistake on Aarti's end too, because the response I just read it on the chat. There is a word traditionally before masculine. It is written
yeah,
traditionally masculine careers.
yeah, no, no, that is fine. That's what I'm saying. The thing written by Shreya is not wrong. I'm just saying that what mentioned by Aarti, that if you're writing like if you're stating something, then you just need to be careful that you're not sounding sexist, because what could occur is the opposition would fixate on your this statement and totally say that you do not adhere to this statement, this ideology or something like that. So it's better you uh, put your statements more carefully. And yes, for this statement, traditionally masculine has been mentioned, so I don't think so it's that sexist or not. It's that problematic. Yeah, I guess someone else also had raised their
so
hand.
because that's correct, but it can be taken wrong, so we should
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
take
No,
it
I
that
get it.
I
That's
was
what I'm
saying.
saying. Just put down things carefully. I guess we are getting too late, so not let's get stuck up on this and move on to POIs. And also one more thing. Try to put contradictory rebuttals first rather than after, like rather than alternative analysis. So you could show that they are wrong, and you do not have to do an extra effort of weighing both analysis, your alternative and their own. So this is just a preference that you should put contradictory rebuttals first. If you have both of them, if you have just one of them, then you could just put up that and expand on that. Coming to POIs, POIs are okay. First of all, what are POIs? POIs are something which you can raise your hand or verbalize that I have in POI and tell to the speaker. Yeah, yeah. Gaurav, yes. Gaurav. Okay, yeah. Uh, I think if you have any doubt, you could put it on the text chat box. Okay. What are POIs? POIs are basically something you ask to the speaker for clarification or as a question to the speaker who is speaking right now. And it has to be limited it has to be of 15 seconds, and it has to be between the first and the 6 minute, I guess. These are the rules. And these are very important to the debate, because what happens when in rebuttals, rebuttals are in the speeches you have. So there is a break between those speeches. Um but in POIs, you simultaneously engage on it. So if you ask good POIs, there could be more engagement in on both the sides, and you could have a very good debate, and you could have more, like they say that you have brownie point for asking good POIs. Now, coming to the point of giving POIs, first of all, usually speakers take only one or two POIs so not to break the flow. So give effective POIs or ask effective POIs. And if you have any POIs and they're not taking it right now, write it down in detail. So you do not forget it, and you put it down clearly to the speaker. And now in giving of POIs, you could have there are different types of POIs which are given or taken. That it could be like sometimes they just ask to break your flow, or they just ask as a trap that like if you're stating about something, and they will say like as the example of alcohol, someone could ask a POI that you support alcohol, so do you also support taking drugs? So that's a trap POI. You do not have to waste too much of time on it. You have to move on with it faster, because these are POIs which do not hold that much of value and are basically taken up from an assumption, and could be easily taken. Something other could be rebuttal POIs. These are rebuttals in form of POIs that maybe you are saying is this, but this is untrue because of this. Uh, or And if you want to put it out as a rebuttal POI, then you have to put it out as like this, that your argument is this, but it is untrue because of this. You do not just say that your argument is untrue. You do not finish at that. You have to say because of reasons, then only the POI becomes effective. Now, the other could be a reminder POI that you say that please engage on this case or this topic also. So for that, maybe you could get 1-2 points from the opposition on your own case and further engage on it if they are not engaging with you. Other there could be weighing POI. These are very rare because like these are just statements given by the speakers. Basically, weighing is done in speeches rather than in POIs, but you could put down that this maybe the argument you're trying to put weighs less or is less significant or less likely to happen compared to this other argument which we are trying to put. So these are the specific kind of POIs which you could put. Uh, Now, if you are okay, got okay, yeah, Lena.
So, with the weighing POI, is it necessarily that we have to say it like as a POI? Because as a
Yeah, that's what I'm
person,
saying.
you can
That's what I'm saying.
say that in
Usually,
your own speech.
yeah,
Their point
exactly.
was, you can say it in your own speech, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mentioned before. That weighing POI, usually people do not take weighing POIs because they mentioned it their own speech, so they could further engage on it, further analyze it, that why it weighs more because of what reasons. So it's just a type of POI which you could encounter even in your speeches. So I'm just trying to make you aware that what kind of POIs could you could expect from the opposition, because uh, what you need to be careful for. Yes, Archit.
So, when you said about weighing POI, I had a question that do POIs are necessarily a question or they can be statements too? Because the weighing POI is
Yeah,
clearly a statement.
yeah, POIs do not need to be a question. They could be a statement. They could be a statement. Could ask for clarification of something they have already told, or they could be something that something new you try to bring up. It's like that.
Okay.
So yeah, this is about giving POIs and types of POIs. Now coming to a very good question, a prominent question asked to us, that how to take POIs and how to tackle them. So first of all, very technical thing to be taken care of is try to take 5:45. So you could 5:45 or 5:30. So you could properly engage in it, and you also have put down your own points and in the debate. So if you take a POI earlier, then I prefer taking POI after the 2 minute mark. So I'm able to put down my own points also. If you take POI before 2 minutes, you could waste your time in just interacting with that POI or just trying to tackle that POI and not able to put down all your own points. So try to take it before 5:45, and a suggestion maybe after 2 minutes, as you could respond in more in depth and try to tackle it more easily. Now, what to do if you do not know how to respond to a POI? So first of all, as I mentioned, if it is a trap POI, then if you could spontaneously get the rebuttal, you could spontaneously able to take down that assumption, then go on, do it. But if you're not able to, then put down examples as such that uh, to for the example of the one of the trap POIs I mentioned was, if you support alcohol, do you also support drugs? Then you could mention that there are states which support which have not banned alcohol but have banned drugs. Then uh, you could not say of that things like that. So be vague enough, or maybe give examples to support your own statement if you're not able to take down the argument or take down the assumption, if you're not able to identify the assumption. In the second case, what you could do is you could just state that my material or my arguments are better than your arguments, have better benefits than your if they are saying that if it is a, for example, if it is a vague PI and you don't know how to engage with it, you just say there are no reasons you try to support it for what you're trying to say, or you could come up with your own reason that what you're trying to say, that your arguments way more than mine. It is wrong because my arguments way more than yours because of these reasons. And if the POI which has been asked is confusing, or maybe it's very complex, then you could just say that it was a very confusing POI, and I will not be engaging it with right now, or maybe I will come back to it later. Uh, because it was not very clear or something like that. That's basically how we respond when you when you're not when you do not have spontaneous answers to the POIs given. And also try to have gaps between your POI. Do not take simultaneous. Like if you're just taken a POI, then and you have responded to it, and there is a new PI, not jump onto that new PI, because then you would forget your own speech and just go on battling with the POIs, and you'll not be able to put your own content in the things. Yeah. So any doubt for this? And we have come to the end of the session. I'm sorry, I was it had a lot of content. So guys, do you have any doubts to whole of the session? I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was not able to discuss, I was not able to give out examples and ask for suggestions from you much more, because I already had too much of content to cover. I've already extended it 1 hour. So hope so you guys enjoyed it. If you have any doubts, you could ask right now, or maybe I will share these slides with you. I will share with Ichit if he can. He will share it with you on the WhatsApp group if you like it. And if you guys want to ask personally anything, then that's also fine. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.